so let me explain this list. I'll put it off camera here so I can show it bit by bit. So Armarouge Box basically revolves around this specific Armarouge. Let me see if I can get it into camera correctly. Okay. Yeah. As you can see, it has a fire off ability, which means as often as you like during your turn, you may move a fire energy from one of your bench Pokemon to your active Pokemon. And if you have a way to accelerate fire energy into play, you can power up a lot of different attackers that use a lot of colorless costs. It's kind of like the centerpiece of the deck. This is why we call it Armarouge Box or Arma Box. Specifically because you can power up a whole bunch of attackers with this. Like a whole bunch of good attackers, different attackers, and some attackers are better for some matchups, others are worse. So, as you can see, I'm running the Surging Spark sleeves. I'm probably actually changing these into like Dragon Shield sleeves or like Gamegenic G sleeves as soon as I'm like actually gonna be playing them in tournaments. Oh, this looks so smooth. Look at this. I love this new cam setup, not gonna lie. Anyway, of course, we have 3 Charcadet because the Armarouge gotta evolve from somewhere. That makes sense, right? 3 Charcadet. Then we have 2 Armarouge. As you can see, I don't own very many of these. I only own 1 Charcadet from Surging Sparks and 1 Armarouge. Running the 70 HP Charcadet, by the way, because it's findable with Buddy Buddy Poffin and only has 1 retreat, but it does survive the 6 damage spread from Dragapult EX. And honestly, like, Armarouge's attack is also not terrible. It's usable. It's like 3 energies for 90 plus burn, which is effectively 110. It do be, and a basic energy. Oh yeah. So as you can see, how I handle my proxies is I print them out, and I put them in the sleeve together with a basic energy behind them. So this is just paper. I just printed this out and cut it out. Regular paper. And the reason I'm putting it behind an energy card is just so that it has the same consistency as any other card would have in my deck, so that I, like, if I'm shuffling through my deck, I'm not noticing like, oh wait, this card is thinner than the others. So this is purely for like, not consistency as in, like, Walmart Terra. I know, right? Walmart Terra, okay. We are also running 1 Armarouge EX just for convenience. This is one of the extra attackers that I was talking about, one of the attackers that you can power up with Armarouge stuff. It's easier to run this because we already are running an Armarouge line. This is why I'm going 3-2 and not like 2-2. So this Armarouge has an ability that it takes 80 less damage if it's full HP, which effectively gives us like 340 HP. Very hard to one-shot. Like Raging Bolt can with 5 energies and stuff. But yeah, there's very little things can actually like one-shot this. Obviously with like Monkey Dory Pings, it's still one-shottable really easily. And Scorching Bazooka does 40 plus 40 for each fire energy attached to this Pokemon. So if you just have 2 fire energy for like the cost of 2 colorless, this does 120, but it can do 40 more for each. Now let's show the cards, like the cards that are actually like not revealed, or like not released yet. So these are definitely proxies. I'm running 2 Ho-Oh EX, 2 Evans Ho-Oh EX to get the fire energy into play, because its ability Golden Flame allows you to once during your turn attach 2 basic fire energies from your hands to one of your benched Evans Pokemon. So Evans Ho-Oh EX is the only Evans Pokemon I'm running. And the only reason this is here is so I can accelerate fire energy into play. It has to be 2 an Evans Ho-Oh EX, but that's fine, because we're using Armarouge's Fire Off to transfer that energy from the Ho-Oh to another attacker that we want to power up. So this is the main way we're actually going to get the energy into play to move around for Armarouge. Just pull them. This is Destined Rivals. This set is not out in the rest of the world yet, so that's why I'm using proxies for these. There are also some other proxies of cards that I'm using. But that's just because I don't have them. I'm planning on ordering them. But I'm also going to a local this weekend. This Saturday I'm going to a local. I'm probably going to bring Crobat to the local. And they sell singles there. So I want to see if they sell like the singles that I specifically need. Like for example, if they have like one of these Armarouge, this can be from either SVI or Paldean Fates. And if they have like 2 Surging Sparks Charcadet, for example, I'm sure they don't sell the Ho-Ohs yet, because These should release in the rest of the world in like May, like end of May, which is quite some time. Good luck affording them. I mean, technically there are some that got pulled, but technically yes. You're right. So technically all the cards that you're seeing here that I like actually own are like 95% is what I pulled, and sometimes if it's like a meta staple that I didn't have, I probably ordered it. But meta staples, like items or supporters, are usually not that expensive. Like this Armarouge EX that you see here, I pulled this one on stream even when I opened the thingy. What's it called? The Terrapagos Ultra Premium Collection. I think I pulled the Circling Sparks Charcadet from the same one actually. And this is a Paldean Fates Armarouge if I recall correctly. Yeah, it is. I think I opened this from opening my Elite Trainer box of Paldean Fates. Pre-release did happen, didn't it? Yeah, a pre-release for Journey Together happened a few days ago, correct? So I technically could order Lillie's Clefairy EX, but I'm not really in a rush because I feel like the price is probably gonna be like so goddamn high. It's probably better to wait, especially since the Ho-Ohs are not even released yet. So, yeah. Anyway, this is like the core of the deck. It's like accelerate energy with even Ho EX, and then move it around with Armarouge EX to whatever attacker you want. Which could be Armarouge EX, but it could also be other things. So our support engine is fairly similar to what you would expect from most decks. The support engine mostly is like Pokemon based. Support engine is these 4 cards that I'm going to show one by one. First and foremost, we got, this is probably the craziest include in this deck, Bombirdier EX. I also don't own this card, so this is also a proxy. I swear there's not too many proxies in this deck. It's like 9 in total. 9 out of 60 is not that bad in my opinion. And I think all of the proxies that I have in this deck are from Pokemon. Like the trainers and the energies, I got all of those, at least. So the reason I'm running Bombirdier EX is because it's first attack mostly, fast carrier. If you go first, you can use this attack during your first turn, search your deck for up to 3 basic Pokemon and put them onto your bench and shuffle your deck. And the reason why I'm running Bombirdier EX is because a lot of times this deck usually wants to go second, so it can attack with Budew turn 1. Spoiler, that's the next card we're going to talk about. Because I have a lot of stage 1s that I want to set up mainly for like my attackers. So ideally, I want to either go second attack with Budew to stall, or I want to go first and look for a lot of basic Pokemon, because this deck runs a lot of basic Pokemon. Wait, there's a... What's on my screen? Oh, it's just a little bit of dust. So yeah, Bombirdier EX from Paradox Rift, I do not own it. I think this card is like... If I would order this online, it's like less than €1, I think. I don't think this card is very good. But the main reason why I want to run this card instead of like more Pokemon search is because it, one, helps me with having an amount of bench Pokemon, which we are once again going to see later in the deck. And second of all, it has Shadowy Wind, which does 130 for 3 colorless energy and allows you to put this Pokemon and all deck cards to your hand. So if you want to, and you can like KO something small, and you want to get this out of play, you can just use Shadowy Wind if you get 2 extra fire energy from your bench to this. You do 130, which can KO like evolving Pokemon, like basic and stage 1s that still need to evolve, like Dracloak for example is a big one. And then you can just get the fire energies back in your hand if you don't want to like lose them. So that's the main reason why I'm running on only 1 copy of Bombirdier, of course. There's gotta be a bunch of one-offs in this deck. For Clefairy, most of the expensive ones are the graded ones. I see some Japanese versions for like 2. For like €2. Oh, I might order a Japanese Clefairy, Lillie's Clefairy EX then. Yeah, that's also going to be in this deck, by the way, just so you're aware. Anyway, next card I'm talking about, Budew. We already are familiar with this menace. Itchy Pollen for 0 energies, 10 damage, and your opponent can't play items next turn. Kind of crazy. This thing also has 0 retreat cost. It's a basic Pokemon. It only has 30 HP. That's like the one downside. This card is incredible for any deck. For like 95% of decks that don't have an attack ready turn 1. So obviously we're running a Budew. Another one-off that we have here that's not surprising at all is Fezandipiti EX. This card is amazing for like, I want to say 95% of decks can use this pretty effectively. Mostly because of its ability. Flip the script, which says that if one of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn by damage, or like by an attack. Not necessarily by an attack, it also works for Dusknoir. It's just not if it's in between turns, that's what it is. You can just draw 3 cards. If if something got KO'd by you from your opponent's last turn. +3 is really good, and this attack is actually usable in this deck. It has a 3 colors attack that does 100 to anything. Like either to active or bench, which could be relevant. I've not, in like the testing I did, I've not used this attack, of course. But it could be relevant. It could be relevant. When you're playing against like a wall stall deck, of course. Something along those lines. So Fezandipiti should not be a surprising include either. What should also not be a surprising include as a last support Pokemon per se is Latias EX, which is also something I don't own. This card is actually kind of expensive. It's like €5 if I want to order this, which is expensive for a basic EX. But whatever. It's mostly the ability Skyliner. Your basic Pokemon in play have no retreat cost. This deck mostly runs basic Pokemon. The only non-basics are the Armarouge and Armarouge EX. But all the other Pokemon are basic Pokemon. So 90% of the time you can just retreat your active for free with this, which is really useful. I should add LeBron EX, yeah, imagine. Also, its attack is like 200 damage for 2 Psychic and a Colorless, and you can't attack the next turn. It's not that good, but it's kind of relevant sometimes. This deck is set up so that I can actually use this attack. I'm not running just fire energies. Like there's a few other basic energy and then also luminous in here. So this attack is not like unusable in this deck. Alright, now let's talk about the alternate attackers that I'm using. We already talked about Armarouge EX, of course, but I have 6 alternate attackers right here. And I'll just go in alphabetical order, because one is obviously better than the other. Should I go in alphabetical order? Probably not. I should go from best to worst. Best. Wellspring Ogerpon EX. This motherfucker is amazing. He has like a one energy attack that just retreat locks your opponent. It does also do 20 damage, so eventually they're gonna get out of retreat lock by being KO'd. I do not run Aromaties. Sorry, the only stage 1s that I run are the Armarouges. But it's mostly for the second attack, Torrential Pump, which does 100 damage for a water and 2 colors, but if you choose to shuffle 3 energy attached to this Pokemon into your deck, you can also do 120 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, so you're basically getting a 2 for 1. Which is pretty crazy, honestly. Pretty nuts. Alright, that's like the best attacker in the deck, actually. Like, not a fire-type Pokemon, can you imagine? Second best attacker in the deck. Charcadet EX, this is why I said that bench Pokemon mattered. This guy's attack for 2 colorless energy does 30 for each benched Pokemon. We are running a cheeky little AZU package in this. You'll see that card pop up later. Are you a Aromacist? Sussy. Anyway, I think I set it up so that you can actually attack with Crown Opal if you want to. But it's gonna be a little bit annoying, I think, to set that up. 95% of the time if you're attacking with this, you just want to use Unified Beatdown for like 180, 210, 240 damage. Also, this is as you can see, this is the Sword and Shield, this is the Scarlet Violet promo for the shiny Terrapagos, so this is not like an expensive card, this one just came in with the Terrapagos Ultra Premium Collection. This is not the $200 version of the card, don't worry. That's just a promo. Okay, third best attacker, Lillie's Clefairy EX. Also does damage based on bench Pokemon, and as you can see, I don't own this card. Unfortunately, because this is still not out yet for us. Journey Together has had a soft launch, but not a hard launch yet. Senior Beatdown, hell yeah. And Lillie's Clefairy most importantly has the ability that your opponent's Dragon Pokemon in play are now weak to Psychic. So this can one-shot Dragapult EX or Raging Bolt EX pretty easily. Because this attack Full Moon Rondo for 1 Psychic and 1 Colorless does 20 damage, plus 20 damage for each bench Pokemon, including both yours and your opponent's. So if you want to KO a Dragapult, you would need to hit for 320 damage, which means 160 damage without weakness, which means that you just need 7 bench Pokemon in total, like both yours and your opponent's bench Pokemon totaled. Which you can do on your own, by the way. You can have 7 bench Pokemon on your own with this deck. Kinda crazy attacker. Works similarly to Terrapagos that you need a full bench for it to work. Then we have Regigigas. Regigigas has the juicy Jewel Breaker attack for 4 colorless energy. Does 100 damage, which is fairly disappointing, but your opponent's active Pokemon is a Terra Pokemon. This attack does 230 more damage, so in total 330 damage. This guy one-shots Charizard EX, this guy one-shots Dragapult EX, this guy one-shots I think every Terra Pokemon in format bar one that I forgot. I think there's a stage 2 340 Terra Pokemon. Oh yeah, Tyranitar EX from Paradox Rift, or is it from Polea Evolved? I'm not sure. But that card sees no play, so this one-shots every Terra Pokemon in play. Goated Mon. Like as you can see, this is a proxy, but I do own this card. It's just that this card that it's just that this specific card, I have 1 Regigigas, and it's currently in my Heatran Metang deck. I could have swapped them, and I was like, ah, it's fine. I'll just have it here. I'll just print another out. That ability should have been on Xerneas EX. You cannot change my mind. Oh, Fairy Zone from Clefairy. The one that says that your opponent's Dragon Pokemon are now weak to Psychic. Yeah, I agree. Should have been on Xerneas EX. It would have been a lot more balanced on Xerneas EX as well, because that guy's attacks suck. Okay, we have Iron Hands EX, a staple in today's current format, because of the second attack. Thank you very much for 1 lightning and 3 colorless energy. Does 120 damage. Very expensive attack, but if your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by damage from this attack, you take 1 more prize card. Yippee! Yippee! This card is broken. This card is broken in every deck it is. It is in. Like, the fact that Iron Hands EX is seeing so much play is baffling me, but also not, because that card is just ridiculous. And the last card I want to talk about here, the last Pokemon in the deck is Mew EX. This is kind of like a half draw engine, half attacker. Mostly because of the ability to restart, which allows you to draw up until 3 in your hands, 3 cards in hand for once during your turn. And Genome Hacking for 3 colorless copies one of your opponent's active attacks and uses it. Bro, just how many energy types you got? All of them? I guess I can discuss energy now, which makes more sense to discuss energy now. I was about to talk about supporters and stuff, but I'll show the energy counts that I have now. Okay? Let me just take a sip of water, but this is the list of energy that I'm running. Ooh, whoopsie. I'm tossing cards on the ground as well. That's not a great. I want to take a sip of water first, because I'm yapping a lot. Let's see. Right. We can put the water in frame. Water in frame is hype. Anyway, I'll show you guys the energy counts. I'm running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fire energy. Yeah, fairly little fire energy, honestly, if you think about it. But with the recovery that I'm running and amount of search that I'm running for the energy, I think it feels fine for me. I do yap a lot, correct. I'm also running 1 basic lightning energy, 1 basic water energy, and 1 basic psychic energy. Specifically, the psychic is specifically to charge up Latias EX with a luminous, psychic, and fire. And the lightning and water are just for ease of access on Ogerpon's attacks, on Iron Hands' attacks, or if I want to specifically attack with Crown Opal on Terrapagos. And then I also run 2 luminous energy. Luminous energy, I'll explain real quick. If this is attached to a Pokemon, it gives you 1 energy of every type, but only 1 at a time. And if another special energy is attached to this energy, kind of only gives 1 colorless, so it kind of sucks. You want to limit this to 1 per Pokemon. So this allows you to, for example, attack with Clefairy without a psychic energy. Just use a luminous and a fire energy, and you're there. And lastly, I also run 1 legacy energy. This is the A-spec choice of the deck. I was thinking about Sparkling Crystal as well, but then I realized I only have 2 Terra attackers, and this fits in more nicely. Legacy energy also gives you every type of energy, but only 1 at a time. But if the Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an attack from my opponent's Pokemon, that player takes 1 fewer prize card. It's pretty good. This effect only triggers once per game though, so it's not like you can like cheat this in play again and again and again. So only once per game. But still, cheating your opponent out of a prize card is very nice. This is the energy count that I'm running. So it's fairly tame, I want to say. It's like 13 in total. 13 in total is, I would say it's fairly tame, because Miraidon runs like 15, and there's a bunch of different ones here as well. I'm kind of tempted to like maybe cut like either the lightning or the water for another fire energy, but so far I've not really had any troubles with it. If Ho-Oh-V wouldn't rotate, you'd go ham. Oh yeah, Ho-Oh-V would be so much better in this deck, but Ho-Oh-V is rotating, so I can't use that. Anyway, this is the energy count. I'll just lay it out here. I'm just gonna lay it here, neatly in the bottom corner. Let's see. How do I line this up the prettiest way possible? I think this works. There we go. That looks clean, does it? Yeah, that's probably fine. Alright, let's talk supporters. For supporters, I didn't do very many spicy things. I have 9 supporters in the deck. Did I count that correctly? No, I have 10. Okay, 10 supporters is fairly standard. First and foremost, I'm running free INO. Sorry about that. INO. Each player shuffles their hands and puts it on the bottom of their deck, and then both players draw equal to the amount of prize cards that they have. Very disruptive supporter, is great for drawing some extra cards per turn. Great for controlling your opponent's hand size. Overall, probably one of the best supporters in Standard right now. 3 in this economy? Yeah. INO is a good card. INO is a good card. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised you're surprised. Let's just put it like that. 3 INO. INO is a banger. Then we're also running 3 Professor Research. Professor Research, discard your hand and draw 7 cards. Simple, easy to use. Yeah, not that easy to use, but it's fairly simple and fairly strong. More draw. I don't think you should be surprised. I was tempted in building to get a 4th INO and then cut down to 2 researches, but I haven't really had the chance to test out if that works better or not. I haven't really needed the 4th INO, but I could see myself needing it, for sure. Then we also have 2 Boss's Orders. Boss's Orders, switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. Auto include in 95% of decks. So it is here. We gotta run 2 Boss. Boss is the freaking goat. Then there's still a few supporters left that we're running. There's also 1 Chorus Tenacity. Search your deck for a Stadium card and an Energy card. It does not say Basic Energy, so you can grab a Luminous or a Legacy if you want. Reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Very nice. Might consider cutting this if Kyurem becomes very popular, but it's a good card, so I'm keeping it here for now. And the last supporter that we run in the deck is Judge. I might also consider cutting this Judge and then get a 4th INO, but I like having Judge. Each player shuffles their hand into their deck and draws 4 cards. Fairly simple effect, once again, hand disruption. I just like this Judge and I want to use it. Okay, that's the reason it's in here. It's because I like one-off Judges. It's a lot better in late game when people are down to like low price count and INO gets like draws you like 1 or 2 cards only. So I like Judge. Now for items. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about stadiums first. Because I've been talking about the stadium so much already that I might as well show it. Stadium count is 3 Area 0. Area 0 states that any player who has any Terra Pokemon in play can have up to 8 Pokemon on their bench. This allows us to do big damage with Terrapagos, with Lillie's Clefairy, allows us to have the most room possible for our combos, for like multiple even Ho-Oh-ZX. We only run 2 Terra Pokemon, Wellspring and Terrapagos, but I think it's fine. I could go up to 3 if I consider like cutting like the Armarouge EX and adding like a Flame Ogerpon EX or Cornerstone, either of the 2. I could consider those, but for now I'm happy with my specifically 2 Terra Pokemon in conjunction with 3 Area 0. I think 3 is kind of mandatory. I've tested with 2, and honestly, if you run 2, you might as well run like also 2 Chorus, because it's gonna be so hard to find. Anyway, you got a little sneak peek there. Item count. We got 4 Earthen Vessel to find our energies. Of course, Earthen Vessel being a goated energy search card. You can only use this card if you discard another card from your hand. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, and put them into your hands. Goated energy search. Then we also have goated Pokemon search in the form for Nest Ball. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it on your bench. I don't think you should be surprised. There's a bunch of big basic Pokemon in this deck, as you can see. Nest Ball makes it very easy for you to grab them. The United States of Area Zero. Hell yeah. You'll love to see it. There we go. Then for more Pokemon search, we have 3 Ultra Ball. You can only play this card if you discard 2 other cards from your hand, but you search your deck for any Pokemon and reveal it. Ooh, whoops, I was out of frame there, sorry. 3 Ultra Ball. You could consider going down to 2, but I like 3 because it helps you grab the evolutions, mostly. Ultra Ball, goated cards. It's kind of like a necessary evil, so to say. Not gonna lie. Kind of necessary evil, because discarding 2 other cards is kind of terrible. But yeah, it is what it is. Then we have more Pokemon search. We got 2 Buddy Poffin. Look, this one is a Cosmo Hollow from a prize pack. Search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less. And put them on your bench to shuffle your deck. I'm only running 2, because the only Pokemon in the deck that I can grab with this are the Budew and the 3 Charcadets. So I could consider going down to 1 and getting like more, like a 4th Ultra Ball or something, or like, I don't know, man. 2 Poffin feels alright. 2 Poffin feels kind of nice, especially in conjunction with 4 Nest Balls. And then there's a few more cards left for a very cognizant between us. There's 57 cards on the board right now. There's 3 more in the deck, of course. For 1, Counter Catcher. You can only play this card if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, and it has the same effect as Boss's Order. So this is my 3rd Gust card, also the final Gust card. So yeah, 3 Gust is very important, I think, for this deck, specifically because you only go like a 2-2 line, or like a 2-2 prize map, sort of, if possible. And if it's not possible, then yeah, you probably lose. Ideally, this deck wants to win by turn 4, if possible. Then we also have Night Stretcher. Put a basic Pokemon, put a Pokemon or basic energy from your hand, from your discard pile to your hand. Really good recovery. This can grab you like another Armarouge or another basic that you just use for attacks. Immediately put it in your hand. And the last card is Super Odd. Don't read this text because it's not correct. This card has been errated. This is a Neo Genesis Super Odd, very old Super Odd. So the effect that's on this is not the same as Modern Super Odd. Modern Super Odd allows you to put up to in combination, like 3 in combination of Pokemon and basic energies from your discard pile to your deck. So it's like 3 times the Night Stretcher, but they go to your deck instead of the discard, instead of your hand. So this is a very old Super Odd, as you can see. Neo Genesis Super Odd, the GOAT. But it has a very different effect, as you can see. What does it even say? Flip a coin if heads, put an evolution card from your discard pile into your hands. Tails, put a basic Pokemon card from... That's so bad! This is so bad! You should add Counterspell? Wait, wrong TCG. I cast accidental spilled liquids on cards? Hell no. I got the cap on my bottle. You can't hurt me. Welcome in, Katamaya. Hope you're doing well. Nah, Ash Blossom. Yeah, hold on, guys. I'm gonna add Fiery War Axe to the deck. I think Fiery War Axe works kind of well in this deck. Don't you guys think? Or should I add Luffy to the deck? Anything but Ash Blossom. Anyway.